Hi, and welcome to the 91 Day Business Spotlight Live. I'm your host, Jonathan, and I'm thrilled today to have Christina with me. Christina and I have got to know each other recently, and I'm really excited to have her share a little bit about her business. Christina is joining us from Houston, so she's a little bit closer than our other guest from this morning, was from Vietnam, but glad to have you with us, Christina, and sharing a little bit. Tell us a little bit about your business and who it is that you guys serve and how you serve them.
Yeah, sure. Right now I'm helping moving companies grow their business through marketing, digital marketing,
Hmm.
movingmarketingresults.com. That's about a couple years old. I have a legacy agency called Global Specs, and that's about 25 years old.
Hmm.
So I've been doing that for a pretty long time. Started working with Notepad, typing out code.
Yes, been
You
there,
know
done
the
that.
days?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. HTML and Notepad. But yeah, moving companies is where I'm focusing right now and having a really great time. They're good people.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Oh, I love to hear that. That's fantastic. Tell us a little bit. Do you work with moving companies across the U.S., across North America, internationally? Tell us a little bit about the scope of those that you work with, Christina.
Sure. Right now it's nationally. Certainly can work with Canadians as well. I haven't really thought about international, although I did have somebody from Jamaica reach out. But yeah, we solely right now it's national, just because I know the landscape a lot better when it comes to the kind of words that we're using. But Canada the same way. My legacy agency, we have a Canadian company, but yeah, it's so far. Usually the kinds of moving companies are in the million or more
Hmm.
range, kind of growing. And right now they're kind of struggling just because of the economy. Not a lot of people are moving. And so we're trying to help out, what areas can we help grow their business through the digital marketing landscape. But yeah.
Makes a lot of sense. So, talk to me. Obviously, we're both in digital marketing, so I understand the basics, and a lot of our audience understands the basics. But
Mhm.
how do you help? What's unique about a moving company and the marketing needs they have? How do you help them reach their audiences that they need to get in touch with? Can you share a little bit, maybe some of the overall tactics and strategies that you recommend for them?
Yeah, I would say the biggest thing with moving companies, first, there's so many out there; it's pretty competitive. But what I try and tell our clients is to be as unique as possible and to kind of reach that brand, that message. And I know, in our world, it sounds kind of blasé about that, but it can't be more emphasized. And as we talk about AI in that world, I'm just more and more confident that the best way that they can reach and grow is through real world transparency
Hmm.
and showing themselves, their face, the owners, the staff, the drivers. I think we're kind of in this world, this weird world right now where there's a little bit of a trust issue. You see a lot of movers on Craigslist, and there's a lot of, there's a bad kind of taste in your mouth when sometimes you don't go with the right mover. So the struggle is, which mover should I choose, and am I going to trust them? So a lot of the work that we do is building up that story,
Hmm.
building up why they're moving, why they like the work that they do, especially about their team. Some folks are a little hesitant to talk about the team, the movers, the drivers, even the back office. I don't know why, but sometimes because they're contracted and not actual employees, because they kind of
Hmm.
have this summer swing and then they let them go in
Sure.
the winter, which makes sense. But I'm always like, just as transparent and as authentic as you possibly can be. Even photos that aren't perfect, we tend to try and drive people just to
Yes.
take a photo. I don't care. Maybe once every couple of years, hire a professional to get those really good shots. But honestly, I'm all about when's the latest photo you sent me? I need photos. I
Yes.
need 10 photos this week. You didn't take any? I need 20 then. So, and it's just, we're even trying to encourage the staff, like, you just go follow the drivers or who's ever good with a camera. I don't care who it is, or just a digital phone. So that's kind of the struggle with them. They're not very um, forthright. The larger companies are there. You can see a lot if you go to their social media and some of their websites. You can see how much time they spend taking photos of the team and their hats and their t-shirts. But I think that's the struggle for them, is to be unique. Why I should trust you as a mover, why
Hmm.
you compared to the other guy, because it can't always be about price. And that's another thing that we try and kind of have that discussion of, if you're charging $600 a move, that's really low. What if we up it to $800 or $1,000? And I've got some clients that are $2,500 is an average move. And so when I tell them that,
Right.
they're shocked, and it's kind of in our world as well, right? You have some folks that are kind of new coming up in this
Yep.
digital agency world, and they undercut themselves. And over time, as you grow and as you mature, you realize, wow, this is really hard work. And same with movers, so
Makes
we just,
perfect no, it makes perfect sense. In fact, I love what you're doing about start talking about stories. I think that is absolutely in the marketing world becoming that much more important because, like you
Mhm,
said, it's so easy for anybody to advertise anywhere nowadays. And as a result of that, you don't know as a homeowner or a business who you're necessarily going to get. And
right.
being able to see that, okay, these people are in my community, they've been here for this as long. I don't need to see a perfect picture. I want to see real.
Yeah.
Show me a real picture of your truck in front of your office that I can drive by and recognize, not necessarily everything perfectly manicured. Well, that doesn't mean that they should be slovenly. Obviously, like you said, having somebody follow with a phone that can take
Mhm,
pictures,
mhm,
that'll create so much credibility for that business
mhm,
as opposed to the professional, perfectly staged, perfectly lit shot that everybody's going to go, is that you? Is that really you?
mhm,
So
mhm,
I absolutely love what you're talking about there. And I think, today with AI, like you've mentioned, it makes it so much easier for businesses outside of the area to just flood an area with information.
mhm,
It's that much more important as that local business person, that local mover, that they're
mhm.
taking the time to really tell their story. I love that. I love
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, and I've seen somebody reached out recently, and I was kind of doing an audit on their site, and I noticed some of their blogs were using AI images, which I am not opposed to. Like, I use them,
Mhm.
totally understand. But when you put it on a professional website on a blog, the arm was completely stretched out. The guy had three legs, and it's like you kind of have to step back for a moment. And what are you posting? And just take a moment.
Exactly.
Again, I like yours. You do the Disney Pixar
Yep.
look, and and if you've got that kind of brand, like we've got one company, their brand is like a mouse or speedy mouse,
Mhm,
running
mhm.
really fast, and I feel like that lends me some ability to use some illustration, which is great for the Mid Journey and some of those other AI images, which I love. But on the flip side, I still have to have actual photos that
Yes.
is quite obvious it is somebody just took a snapshot. Like,
Mhm.
it's almost like you want to do it on purpose. I do give them guidelines. Like, I've given them like a photo shoot checklist of all the things when you do
Oh,
go
that's
out. Here's
great.
all the different ideas you can do, because that's another side of the storytelling, is they feel like what they do is so routine, so boring, But I'm like, people absolutely love these stories. They just
Mhm.
love the befores and after. I mean, if you can have a TikTok or reel of a guy deep cleaning a car, you can have a, a story of you
Yes.
packing a house,
Absolutely.
moving it out, loading it in the truck like a Tetris. I mean, that,
That
like,
no, you're
fine.
absolutely right.
So I try to
No.
push them.
Well, and I think that user-generated content today has so much more value. I mean,
Mhm.
I'll date myself, but when I was growing up, everybody wanted professional photos and everything, but now that's not what everybody's looking for. They want that authenticity. It's like I tell clients all the time, when we're talking about video, nothing against great professional video, but some
Right.
of the
You have the
best
right.
video you're ever going to have, you're going to record on your mobile phone,
Mm.
and you're going to do it while you're sitting in your office or you're sitting in your truck or wherever you're at,
Yeah.
because that's authentic and people see that and that resonates with people. And that's what they want because we've got so much fakery around us. Seeing something authentic really just resonates with people.
Yeah. Big
So
time. Yeah.
as you look at your crystal ball, I know my crystal ball is a little cracked and cloudy, but as you look ahead into 2024, what type of things do you see that are going to be important for moving companies in particular or businesses in general as they look at their digital marketing and things that they should be paying attention to?
I think just going back to being authentic and just not being so perfect at every stage. Sometimes people wait for perfection,
Mm,
whether that's a Google ad, whether that's a landing page, whether that's an email marketing. It frustrates me a little bit because some folks just want to spend hours getting it perfect, getting it to perfection. But
yes.
I just don't believe that's what your customers want or even care about.
Hmm.
I'm all about getting it to 95%. There's a 5% leeway. There's probably something wrong with it, but get that thing out because you're already late.
Yeah.
And again, that just goes across the board, whether that's a website, whether that's a Google ad, whether that's even, articles. Just you've got to be a little bit okay to have a mistake.
Hmm.
And so that's one area. I would say another part of it is just staying in touch with what your audience and your target market want. And that's just through social media, finding out what their interests are and kind of working your way into that. So, like for me, when I'm doing my marketing for mine, I'm on Instagram and Facebook looking at what moving companies are doing. A lot of them are just kind of these quick little short reels. So, obviously, that's something they like.
Right.
Right. So that for me tells me I should do a little more of that to reach them. And that's saying, and that goes for them as well. So, and again, as you and I are these Gen Xers, these little reels and these TikToks, as hard it is for us, it is hard for me. In fact, I've got my
Yes.
17-year-old. I'm like, you got to help me with the Instagram, girl, because I don't have that thing going on. I know what to do. I'm not fast enough with it. Again, that perfection gets to
Hmm.
me. And so I'm trying to get my daughter who just is like boop, 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 boop with her phone and just sends it out. And I'm
Yep.
like, okay, fine. Okay, fine.
Yes.
get
Yeah.
it out. So, but I think,
It
mhm,
it reminds me so much of a phrase that I'm sure you've heard. I know I have as well. But "is good today is better than better tomorrow."
yeah.
And I think it's especially for people that have been around for a while and been in business for a while. I think it's sometimes hard to do that because we know we can do better and we want to do better, but better we can't get done today.
No.
But I know I've learned, at least from my journey, that just like you were saying, putting it out at 90 to 95% today is oftentimes better, because unfortunately that 98 to 100% that I'm trying to achieve probably is never going to happen. And I'm
Mm-mm.
going to end up with this just trail of unfinished, 90 to 95% unfinished projects behind me that never got done, never got published,
Mhm.
and that doesn't do anything for your business. So,
And no one
yeah,
notices
totally.
it. You think you're the
Exactly.
only one that's going to notice the 5% error issue or something. And most often people don't even recognize it because they're scrolling through stuff so quickly.
Exactly.
It's just not that big of a deal. I would say another thing for 2024 is just roll with it. There's
That's great
Google.
advice.
Yeah, Google is just, we're in this massive flux with what Google is going to accept for content recently, right? We just in the
Oh, yeah,
past
just
week,
2 weeks ago, big job.
big change. And what I liked was that the folks that were just streaming 30,000 articles a day using AI,
Yeah,
that was targeted. That was the
it
thing,
was.
which was a relief to you and I, because I mean, again, I use AI. I'm not saying that we'll use it for an outline, we'll use it for
Mhm.
some research, but we're not using it to write a blog and just go with it. I just feel that
Exactly.
that's disingenuous and it doesn't help anybody. So I think just knowing that we would get some articles written not for us, but like maybe a competitor or something. Again, I'm looking at their site and it's 100%
Sure.
AI, makes no sense. It's not talking to the right people. It's not giving the right advice. I think that was that ghost. What is it called when Chat GPT does ghosting or
Oh, yeah, we call it hallucinating, yeah. Just
hallucinating? Yeah.
making up out of thin
Like, did
air.
anybody read this? So
Well, and I
just
think
kind of go with it. Just go with it. There's going to be a
you make
constant change. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
no, 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 I'm interrupting you. I'm so sorry. I was just saying, you make a great point though about AI in general, and I'm a nut for AI, but I always talk to people about when you're doing content, it needs to be assisted by AI, not done by AI. AI can help, but like you said, but if you want to copy and paste out of that, you're going to be embarrassed sooner rather than later, every
Mhm.
single time.
Yep.
So, a great
Yep.
advice. Well, Christina, if people are interested in reaching out and learning more about how you can help them and their businesses, what's the best way for them to reach out to you? I'll tag you obviously in this live stream, but what are other things that they can do to reach out and connect with you?
Well, definitely through the website, movingmarketingresults.com, if you're in the moving industry. Facebook for sure. Instagram, I don't even know my Instagram. always have to look at it. But definitely moving marketing results. That's probably the best way. And globalspecs.com, that's my other agency. But yeah.
Awesome.
Mhm.
Awesome. Well, I want to thank you for your time today. We try to keep these sweet and short and all that. And you've done a great job of, I think, dropping a ton of value today. So, Christina, I really appreciate it. I want to encourage you, if you're in the moving business or just even in the Houston area and you want to reach out, you're looking for somebody to talk to, reach out to Christina and talk to her and her team and find out what they can do to help you with marketing. She's got a great perspective on what's needed and where things are at. And, in marketing, as we know, like every other thing else, Christina, sometimes it's that honesty and integrity that matters more than anything else, because everybody says they can deliver the world. You and I both know that very few, if anybody, actually can. So those realistic expectations are super important. So,
Cool. Thank you
thank
so
you so
much.
much.
Thanks,
Yeah,
Jonathan.
thanks for watching, everybody. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you next week. Thanks, Christina.